to recap very quickly the teachings of this morning, for you to keep making sense in your intellect. I have to adapt to the brick base. All right, thank you. I'm a bit higher, it helps. For you to keep making sense of that. What is, I don't even remember that teaching. Next, it's Himalayas with ice caps. and someone, asking for Batman to show up.
It's a UFO.
It's a UFO on someone's pack of ice cream cones. Okay, so that one is. And you understood that wisdom? Maybe I was talking.
That's good.
In a lava lamp, you can find an eye. No, that's not it. Look at the lava lamp. We're going to hell, so I'm starting with a bit of humor to loosen up your guts, okay? Because we're going to go into a place that is sufficiently irritating to be in for 5 or 10 minutes, okay? And it's part of our practice to have the courage to sink in. If you're blocking the space between your hara and your solar plexus, that area, okay? Some like this, that, hands, whatever crossing, that will hinder your experience of the afternoon, okay? So you want to have this part as open up as possible and relax, because it's a natural defense of I don't really want to feel anything anyway, okay? So try to just, okay, can I protect myself like that? Yeah, it's okay, just leave this open. All the potentials inside you, okay, like little balls in a lava lamp, you're moving with ideas and feelings that are there. Now, you only look and see those who are the closest. If you get an experience of bliss, of enlightenment, or just very happy, and it goes away, it's not gone. Nature naturally brought it back down while other bubbles of your lava lamp went up, and it's just going like this. So you are going to naturally cycle through all your potentials over a lifetime, okay? Unless you learn how to accelerate that by intensifying the fire. Then you'll have more, and then you go into the fast lane of evolution, and some of you understand that. You just got your crap revealed very quickly, but boom, intense bliss, and back in crap, and back in bliss, and you got this rolling more, okay? So your potentials inside are heated up. Now I'm adding information that I didn't this morning, but you've got the fires from the pits of hell. Okay, no, let's not be dramatic. Let's say there's a big lamp that God bought at the Walmart, I don't know, and puts it at the bottom of your stuff, okay? When you go deep, it burns, okay? But that fire, that life, okay, because that would be your mental plane, emotional plane, vital plane, okay, fire there, okay? So the life force, the energy, the kundalini, whatever energy you nourish will naturally heat up your potentials. A potential is an agglomeration of force that acts on its own, okay? Depending on how it was programmed. So you were conditioned to put your clothing in your wardrobe in a certain way. That's a potential. You prefer chocolate or strawberry. These are different potential preferences of taste and sight and hearing. Like the choice of music that you want to hear. These are all potentials moving. The most important potentials are not all preference. That's just very easy for you to understand. So I use preference so you can make links. But the most useful potentials to work with are traumas or wounds, the stuff. I can't bear someone looking like that. I can't endure someone calling me a certain way. And everyone here, so happy and humble to be so, hypocrite actually. Yeah, because there's the hypocrite humility, that you pretend to be humble until someone successfully shakes you off your false humility. So, like shaking a tree and you fall, oh, there it's your fault if I'm arrogant now, Yeah. Or the other version, I can be even more humble than that. Which makes most sense, but you do this, you just hide it very well. You know, that's hypocrite humility. I'm taking an example. You would say, I'm not insulted when people call me name. Well, you were just not called a good name so far. Because at one point there is someone who can pull your trigger or act in a certain way. I have no problem being called names. I'm not really affected by these things. And then a government agent tells you to stand in line correctly. And you go, oh, why did you fucking dare do that? Okay, it wasn't calling you a name, but it was someone inviting you to adapt to the system, let's say, and you're frustrated with the system, and then boom, you got your potential whoop, right in your face right there. And of course, you look up. You know, I'm still humble, I'm just aggravated. Yeah, I understand. Okay? It's okay. Do you understand this? It's okay. We are made like this. To ease your evolution, please accept how it works. The fighting against having lessons in life will not make it easier. Being tired of having something to learn will not make it easier. Wanting to find a way out will certainly not make it easier. I want just the suffering to stop. Let's go away. Nah, you know, that will not help. I want the suffering to stop, so you have to understand it. Understand it through experience as much as intellectually. You need to understand at every level, okay? And that can be done, okay? We can do this, right? It's possible, and after, you know, let's say you have 10, 5, or 3, or 2, or just 1 year of hell. If you're in hell, you're in hell. It's awful, okay? You don't like that. You can't live with that. It's not cool. If you are in hell, the significance is being stuck in the lower part of the emotions, always in suffering, always in fright of what will happen, always stuck with challenges, always afraid of whatever. You know, that's, you know, there are various levels of hell, but that's hell. That's not fun, okay? Trying to climb out of hell won't work, okay? Forcing yourself to be happy won't work. You need to accept that sometimes you are down there and it burns. Okay, there is a moment that it burns. So can you have the humility to say, trying to avoid it did not work so far. A lot of you are not in hell, but some are. Or you have been in hell sometimes in your life, or you did experience in your past, or you're experiencing now. So I'm talking to you about this. And if you're not in that situation right now, at least refer to when you were, so that at least you won't have to go again. Okay? The entire concept of these potentials moving is the natural process. If you don't comply with the natural process, you're trying to fight against the current. You're trying to heal yourself against how you're supposed to do it. You know, nature will push you in a certain direction. Okay? Humility to accept, okay, now it hurts. Okay, instead of the entire project, another one. That's the UFO. Call it that, man. Who's on the ice cap? The natural process of projection, okay, and I recap a bit, we're all soul. I mean, we're not individual souls. There is just soul substance. Like, let's say you take a grain of sand, but when this grain of sand is on the ground in the desert, it's not grains of sand. You call it sand, like a unified one thing substance. Could be sugar. Can you pass me the sugar? And he goes like 1, 2, 3. No, he just goes in sugar as a unified pot of substance. And then you got the individualized grains of sand or sugar. So that power of projection, and that is what we're going to talk about, that power of wanting to come out of unity, produce you the individual grain of soul. So now you're not soul, substance, unified consciousness, you are a soul, one, and you drop it, go bloop, and life is suffering. It's happiness also, but there is suffering. Okay? It's both, and it circulates. Okay, the lava lamp, these potentials, they will circulate. So you have to accept that this is a natural process. If you refuse that, you won't successfully heal. Okay? So we are born or created with this power that has the wonderful intention of going out, to discover the world. And that causes us to pay attention outside. So you've got perception here. Now, my wonderful graphic skills will probably not be good enough, but let's say we hear, is that in there? It's an old guy's hair. Okay, is that in there? Or is it like some kind of Vita mantra that I don't know? All right. And you gotta taste. It's a tongue. Okay, I don't know, lips maybe? It's absolutely disgusting. Taste. Okay, that one. And I don't dare draw a touch because I wouldn't know which organ to draw. So, oh, the hand is the typically socially accepted senses. And seriously, if we don't go humoristically about that part, we're not going to be able to sing in hell and survive. Okay? We want to be able to just, I'm still alive, I breathe. So, what comes? That is, I don't know. That's touch. And then there's smell that, I don't know. The only important part implicated in the smell. The nostrils, come on. Creative. Okay. And you see, disgusting nose. I should have stopped with the nostrils anyway. We've got our senses looking outside. Your touch is about what is just close to you. And your eyes is a bit less local. Touch is obvious, it's right there. The eyes, it gives you an idea of position, of distance. It's more or less local, but you know where it is. The sound, it's close or far, but direction starts to be hard to understand. And then smell. Who farted? There's no information about locality in smell, So the senses are distributed for the soul in the amount of locality it provides. Okay? Who just farted? Oh no, that was sound. It revealed some kind of locality. You know who? Fuck. Do you at least hear it? No? I just farted. I just tried my best to do a real authentic, and I missed my joke because, I didn't do a loud one. Fuck! I get the smell. You're too far away to... I'm trying to build that humor. So, you understand, we're trying to localize through senses at various levels what's outside. Okay? So your nervous system is telling you what is outside. You're pulled out of yourself. Your consciousness is looking at him, it, that, this. Think about it. You are always concentrating outside. Because your nervous system is built to keep pulling you out of yourself. Okay? Do you understand this? And then you feel empty. Because where your attention is, your consciousness goes. So the outside world becomes full of yourself and you become empty, unless you're full of yourself, but that's an expression that means something else. The idea is that the strength and the will at which our nervous system is, with great effort, trying to strip you out of your own body, while constantly pouring this consciousness outside. And the need that you have to bring back this energy inside so that you can finally feel filled. Because you feel empty. And something outside happens, and you're so hurt because they called you that way, you can't get your paycheck, you just soiled your pants, or, walking in a mud pile or something. And
It was
Whatever
not a
word.
fart that went wrong.
Yeah, it would. Oh, I could have tried the joke, but you know, it would not be efficient for the remaining of the day. So, so anyway, the deal is, you are out of yourself, and it hurts. Okay, it hurts because then you're empty, you're vulnerable, and you're weak. There's something beautiful about being vulnerable. It allows you to feel. But there's something not good about being vulnerable when there's no way you can deal with what's going on, okay? To be conscious and to be free, you need to be where you are, okay? And the blame, the power that we push, why do we blame? We've got a system of 5 senses, regardless how good or not I drew it, that's the senses, and this is the world, okay? Let's try the world. Okay, I got it good. So, and ice caps, and this is hair in the bad smile, or it's ice caps, I don't know. So, and we got countries, looks like that, and then continent, okay? So you got something that looks more or less like this, okay? So you got a world. Which is your family? Which is your friends? Which is the people that touch you? And someone comes to touch you, and you already have a potential that is capable of appreciating this person. You feel loved. Someone comes to touch you, and you already have a potential emotion that you could find yourself irritated by that person, and now you feel offended. It's the same touch. It's the same information that gets in the nervous system, but when it's that person, I feel loved. When it's that person, I feel aggressed. Same touch. You know, someone even wanting to give you affection, but you've got a trauma with someone that you don't accept anymore. Let's say an ex-lover, or your parents, or someone who hurt you in the past, that you blame at least that they hurt you, and you can't accept the contact. So you see, it has nothing to do with the senses. If you recall, is this a good enough example for you to understand what I mean? If you're already inclined to accept someone's love, you will accept it, and if you're already against it, you will naturally fight it, although the actual physical touch is the same. Okay? And the words, someone that you hate tells you, but I love you. You go, fuck you. And someone that you love tells you, but I love you. Oh, me too. You know, it's the same words. It's the same sound. What you hear, what you see, taste, touch, smell. It's just the power to keep searching for the truth. It's just a way for us to have a system to be able to observe the outside world and keep going outside, keep projecting, keep separating to find the truth. Okay? The story they say in the Hindu mythology is Brahma found the best place to put the truth, because the truth was a treasure that should not, be misused and should require hard work to achieve. So say, I'm going to put it in the place they will never look at. I'm going to put it right in their guts. I'm going to put the truth in their heart. They'll never look there. Because we're always out, So that's a metaphor that invokes to say, if you want to find the truth, you need to be able to go inside and pay attention and disregard the information that comes from your senses. Now that's an important point. The first step in defeating blame and projection is, for a moment, just for a short moment, disregard the information that comes from your senses. Okay? That means meditate or contemplate inside. So you look inside, not with your eyes, but with your mind. You feel, but not with your smell or taste or touch. You feel with your guts, your emotion. Bringing the consciousness inside. That's the first part, the first thing to do to counteract the energy of projection and emptying yourself. The reason why you're empty, you are empty because your senses make sure your attention is in outside. Okay, your senses tell you to pay attention to other people and other things, and because of that, your attention, your consciousness is outside. And then your consciousness goes there and is coming out of you. You're emptying yourself. There's something beautiful about getting your consciousness outside. It's perfect. You can do this, but if you're always doing it, and never refilling back up, if you never go put fuel in your car, you end up empty. And you say, I'm so empty. My life is empty. I have nothing. I need to feel alive. So you go outside. And you try to feel alive outside because this is where your senses pull you out. So you would have an extreme sport experience, or you maybe for you it's alcohol or drugs or anything that gives you the impression that you're alive, because inside there's no more impression of being alive. We don't always have this, but sometimes in life we do. Okay, it's not permanent, but when we are in that state, we sure think it's permanent, okay, because it's emotional. That makes sense so far? The moments of like I'm alone in my room and I am so stuck in a state of hatred because I suffer loneliness. And then you want to, say go out, get with friends, get with people, get some help, but they don't want to give you. You're so displeasing to be with. So fucking awfully negative you are, still projecting. And at some point when you needed help, when you needed the feeling of I want someone outside or something outside to make me feel alive, this life rejected you because you were empty and you had nothing more to bring. Okay? Why did they reject you? Because you were empty. Because there's only one reason why other people would want your presence, is if you still have something to give. Because they're empty, because they have also been projecting, and they just want to have the happy and pleasant people to fill them back up. And we go around, pay attention to me. We want other people's attention so that consciousness comes back in. But we won't do it. We want the other to fill us again with love, with attention. And we're stuck with this sickness of need of attention, which is we need consciousness to come back. But we're not going to seek it or fill it ourselves. We're going to go outside like we were well trained to do with all our potentials to make sure that they are responsible of filling us back again. And if they don't, it's their fault if I suffer. Okay, you relate to that. You can understand this? Can you understand the concept? Can you feel it? Can you look inside? Now we're going to do that. Look inside. How much you have blamed others. A friend that didn't want to play with you when you were younger. Then a potential lover that did not accept to love you because you wanted to receive their output of love. Can be the parents. You were counting on the parents. At one point you need to become an autonomous being and separate from the parents, but you just blame them of, you want to go away because you have to project, but you're angry at them that's still not providing because you took it for granted and you need them to give you the attention. It's normal. Okay? Try to find that sickness inside you. Blame, projection. Whose fault? I need attention so much. I need to work hard to go get the attention for someone. Try to ponder this. Okay? Nothing specific. Oh, you can go specific if you want, but start with the general concept of hoping to be loved by someone else. Oh, it's beautiful to have a lover. It's fun to have friends. It's okay, that's perfect. Don't hesitate. Go get loved by others. But the dependency on others, to be emotionally dependent on others when they're not there to provide, it hurts. And at one point we reach way further than loneliness. We become depressed. And we can be empty around other empty people, and everyone is in depression. And no one can bring anything to no one. That's when we have the feeling of being alone in a crowd, or alone in our family meeting, or alone in, around everyone we're supposed to be happy and in love with. I know the energy is getting high and that you tend to transcend. It's okay. Everybody stand up. Stretch a bit. The nervous system is fighting against this information because it hurts, you know, to consider this. And we sit down. Now we go specific. If you don't have something to write, you might want to have something to write. No one will read this, so you can write whatever you want, okay? I just want to make sure everyone can write something. It's also a good moment to have your mind concentrate on something else so you can follow the teaching. Just take a blank page that you will tear off and destroy afterwards. Good. Deep breath. You feel that energy working? It's pulling you, you're trying to go to sleep, some of you. Others are like, I want to transcend. Let's stay, eh? This is golden. I understand. Okay. I'm cranking up the energy because I want to stir these potentials enough for you to heal them and not stay stuck in suffering, okay? So you're all set. You will pick in your mind one precise story of your life in the past where you were completely destroyed of not receiving the attention or the love of someone that you wanted to get. And if you're sitting next to your boyfriend, you will not get to read it, so you can feel free to write whatever you want. Okay? I want you to write that in 3 or 4 lines max. No drama chatter. It's just a question of this person, I was so enraged, you know, just pull it out in words. Don't just take a little story that wasn't cool. Take something that threw you off balance. Look at what you're writing. Look at what you're writing. Okay. This is like. Alright. And when you're done, take the time you need, but when you're done, you breathe. And you look at it. And you reawaken it. You reawaken the story. You reawaken the drama. You don't expose it. You know, you see, if some of you have emotional reaction that want to come up, relax. I mean, don't repress, but don't push, okay? Just go in the feeling without any kind of hard expression of drama. You just want to feel how bad it was. If you can fully reawaken the emotion, that's the best. The goal is to see that projection, that idea, that insatisfaction, that emptiness that came, that was projected into someone, how empty and how awful it felt. Yes, you can reawaken the heartbreak. Regardless if it was a lover, a parent, or anything, it was a heartbreak. Okay? Whatever you've written, it was a heartbreak. Heartbreak with the friends, with the jobs, with the lovers, same thing. Heartbreak is heartbreak. That emotion kept you stuck outside. Emotions like the one you're treating right now is something that attaches your attention outside of you. So even if it hurts and you try to avoid it, while that emotion is there, it is pulling you out of yourself even more, wanting the outside to fill you even more, blaming others for your suffering even more. It is making you to become stuck. So all these practices of bringing the consciousness back in will work to a certain point, but cannot cross that wall that you've built, because that energy is outside. Okay? Good. Just staying there, taking the time for that power to dissolve. Just the fact that you look at a suffering loosens its grip. And as the grip is loosened, a bit of the feeling can rise, flows. Does not require drama. Don't prevent it if it comes, but don't force yourself. The goal is just to feel it. The power that pulls us out. Good. We need vocal breaths. Here's how we do a vocal breath. Just listen and watch. You have to do the sound. 3 times. Again. 3rd time. And relax. Vocalizing a bit just soothes that tension. Okay? So, now relax that experience. Reread what you've written. Remember, even if you just wrote it and you know it, just reread, just once. That little story is one of the many bricks that imprisons your consciousness outside of you. That got you stuck in the divine original blessing of separation and turned it into the most awful, hellish curse of separation. You will squish that paper. No violence, just squish it. And you will go throw it in the... Is there basura there in the back? How do you say basura in English? Trash. Huh? Go trash it. You got it. It's part of the technique of projecting. There's also one there in the back, that way.
Thank you.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Simply using various ways to invoke in your mind what is projection, writing, then put it in the crash, to get it out. Just this, all these ideas we're taking is to keep stirring these feelings of the ejecting, the getting out and everything. You should sit once you're done. We're going to continue, okay? How much do you trust your senses? You trust your senses, eh? So much. We're kind of built. And do you see how crazy you go when one of your senses is stimulated with something you like? And how much pressure builds up in your emotional plane to go and get it? For the men, a lady touches you in a specific way. Whoa. You know, you could become a hunter right there. Okay? For the lady, same thing. A man touches you in a certain way, or would talk to you or inspire you, and then, okay, so now what's the next step? How do I get that? Okay? The natural impulse of going out to get the resource of love just goes boom. Okay? You just smell the cake freshly out of the oven. How can I go and get a piece of that cake right now? The bread, the croissant, freshly out of the oven. And you go, all right. Can you accept that you really have something inside you, pushing you, building up a pressure, moving you? I want that. And you're not even thinking anymore. You're just, my croissant. Don't you dare look at my croissant. You know, you understand what I mean? Okay? Just that little smell when it's about food. The touch, the sight, the inspired thing. When it's about affection or intimacy. Just a little stimulation of any one of your senses, just in a good direction, and boom, you are absolutely not free anymore. No more free will. Do you understand that? It's automatic. Something inside you is making the choices. Something inside you is working towards a goal. And that goal is outside. You agree? Huh? So I use this little example to show you that a lot of systems inside you are built that way. A lot of thought processes, emotions, and ideas will naturally just start pushing out again. Just because it triggered the good potential inside you. And your lava lamp just bloop, just goes like that, and that's it. Now you're on another way. Okay? Someone suggests something, like that you would not be a good person, or that you did something wrong, or that part of your job was not correctly executed, that the table is not straight enough for maha. Okay? And you got something, you know, inside that you need to compensate for that feeling. Do you understand? You want to compensate for something is missing. I don't have my croissant. I smell it and I'm not filling my mouth of that, therefore I'm missing something, okay? So the stimulation of you were right, I really enjoyed that, and boom, you got an energy that pushed you to keep doing your job good. I didn't like it, you weren't cool, and then you got an energy ready to fight to justify why you did it and why you think you did it the best way possible. And, you know, before you would go to the, oh, okay, so how do you want me to do it? You know, instead of being humble and trying to be efficient at your work, someone suggests you did wrong, you are first going to try to explain why you did it right, and everyone else is wrong about the entire issue. I mean, maybe they are wrong, but they don't like the way you did it. So, I mean, who cares? It's not right or wrong anymore. It's according to their liking or not. Okay? Has to do with the things at the job. It has to do with, you know, the things, I would say, in bed. But that's, you know, that won't be inspiring enough this time. So let's take family life. Okay? You folded the bed in a certain way. You know, you put your clothing in your drawer in a way that is unsatisfying for mom. You know, it can be anything. And she's like, oh my God, I understand that. Karina, you were pretty cool with that. Yeah. Oh, he's not there. I always said, Brian, is she? Yeah. I guess you'd say, I'm right about everything. I actually asked a question to Brian Huppel once, and you know, to name one of the qualities or virtues or properties that would define him, and he just said, I'm right. I can say, all right, cool. He's a good person, you know. He's just got the surface of someone who doesn't give a shit. But just get to know him, and you know he's gonna move the earth for you. Anyway, very cool. And it's exactly that I want to talk about, especially those who know this example I'm taking. You will agree that Brian Huppel would look indifferent to someone who doesn't know him. And you talk to him in certain ways, he talks like if he didn't give a shit. And the moment it's time to do an action, boom, virtue, like he had been the saint for 15 years. You know, it's just, you understand this, okay? He will go and he'll do it. Okay? Well, that's a bug, okay, of having to hide behind the fence and everything, but he's always there. And he's still outside, and there's something inside that wants to compensate. And you all do this, okay? And there's nothing wrong in that. What I mean is I just told you that even though that guy looks arrogant, when you get to know him, he's a complete contrary, and he's still projecting outside. And I find it beautiful because that's a holy behavior nonetheless. Can you contemplate that? Okay. Those of you who don't know Brian Huppel, I took this on purpose because some of you don't know him. Now, why don't you understand the story? Because you don't know the guy. Okay? Take the message as it is. Right now, I'm saying completely erratic wisdom that doesn't seem to have a link one to another, because I'm not talking to your mind, but your subconscious mind. Okay? I'm setting potential emotion. So thank you for bearing with my erratic teaching, jumping from what's the metaphor from the duck to the goose? I don't know. There's the you know. It's coq à l'âne, how we say this in English, from the rooster to the donkey. That's how we say it in French. We're jumping from rooster to donkey. It has no sense in English. All right. Projection outside. We're in that. Thank you for allowing me a bit of time to work on your subconscious level. All right, get back on track. No? Okay, I'm still gonna disturb you. So,
apples and oranges?
No, that's comparison. Okay, comparison is projecting outside. Thank you.
I'm trying.
Anyway, some guy I know constantly says that one of his major bugs is he hates competition. And it's not the case. The thing is, what he hates so much of competition is that he doesn't want to deploy the required energy to go and compete. So his bug is laziness. So he has no problem with competition. He has I would say he had problems. You know, people change and evolve. I would say a year ago he had his main bug. I still use the story because it's a good one. So he thought he was completely so offended and aggravated by competition, whether he wanted to compete or not. That wasn't it. He was not looking deep enough. Competition suggests he has to make an effort. His bug is getting his ass to move. Can you recognize yourself in that? Okay. Thank you. That person changed a lot of that pattern, but still, it's a cool metaphor, and I like to invoke it. Don't you like this metaphor?
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, pretty much. Bravo nonetheless for the great work you did on yourself. Now, I mean, you need to accept that whatever you think is your bug might not be, because you're still just going superficial. You're still comparing to the outside. You're still, that projection issue that made him believe it was competition is he did not go to the laziness aspect of not wanting to be in charge of his life. He was just looking outside. The side effect of his laziness was to be offended when competition suggested he did not do the effort that was required, which was a real bump, And you have a lot of these integrations that are so long to grasp. You try to find something in your in your system, and it's because you're looking at the projected side effect instead of, okay, but what is going out? There's something. At one point, there's no separation in complete integration. It's not like, but I so hate it when people reject me. You're still outside if you end your integration there. When the government acts that way, I don't necessarily philosophically agree with the way that things work, and you're still just projecting outside. Once you come back, I am greedy, and I don't want to pay for the water that comes in my tap. That's why I'm so aggravated or irritated by paying my taxes. It's these governments, they charge us tax, then they use it as scandal money and steal it and manipulate it. And we use arguments like this to project that it's someone else's fault if it's hurting me to pay money. Actually, we're not in a state of gratitude for what the government and the society provides. We should, Take an example. $500 million were stolen at one point not so long ago. PowerCorp, maybe. What was the Power Corporation who stole a lot of money?
Maybe Enron.
Enron. Okay, okay. $500 million was the theft. Okay, something like I forgot. Okay, and you project this, and you blame, and you look. This is what the people are doing with our money. This is what politicians or business people or finance people, and it's everyone else's fault. And then you learn that some politician needed to use money to go somewhere. He could have used his car, used a jet, cost a few $1,000s instead of a few hours and a few gallons of fuel, and you brag about how awful this money is used. Consider how many military people receive their paycheck because they're in service to the country. How many teachers receive their paycheck because they taught the students like they were supposed to. The firemen that do their work, the police officers. The awful amount of absolutely tremendous, immense amount of money that goes where it's supposed to go every day. Billions and billions and billions of dollars going to people who are supposed to earn it, building the infrastructures that are supposed to be built, and you roll on these streets with the asphalt. You have them, so you can't deny that they did it. There is so much money well spent that one $500 million theft once is absolutely insignificant. And there's like 1/1,000,000th of the money stolen or used in scandals. Can you understand that? But you just have to put your focus on there. Remember my sheet, my wave, where you just have your focus on a certain aspect? Bring your focus on that aspect. It's forever, for all the money ever, forever. Your emotional plane is projected in that fatalistic, totalitarian way, because an emotional plane is a your heart is a totalitarian fascist, we could say, okay? About everything is forever and stuck and it's fatal and that's it, okay? So you bring your focus on that amount of money misspent and you can't keep a global view of everything else. You're just completely thrown off. Do you understand? Projection does that. I'm there and everything is shit in hell. So you think you're in hell right now? Of course you are. But is it fatal? Is it total? Is it forever? No, there is a way out. There is a way out. You just have to learn and use the tools when you're provided them. Okay? How many hours of contemplation, of misperception of reality do you have to bring you to hell? How many years did you take to build your hell experience? And you think that in 5 hours you can get back? No. You have to retravel the path. It's going to take a while. It's just, you wanted to go fast, so learn to run, Learn to go fast, but there's a way out. So if you're not in hell, Take every bad situation in your life, every type of conflict. How long did you build that potential energy until it becomes a conflict? It's going to take a while to resolve, but you can do it very quickly. If you know the tools, integration is that tool. I've been talking about that a lot. You know integration from your teachers, and that's good, okay? And we've done a bit by sitting in an experience and feeling a bit awful, okay? I want you to awaken to that reality of projection and to see how fundamental it is and to see how deep it runs in our systems. We need a bit cooler here or less hot. Wait. Is it just my Kundalini system and my thermostat is completely fucked up or really hot? We need to find a way. Okay. Yeah. Be certain that that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Our energy is just cranked up, and then everybody's on. Okay. And we've been focusing on this projection thing. Look, think, observe, and contemplate all that wisdom this afternoon. How fundamentally present is that original potential? The first potential is just to get out. And now that energy wants to go out and dramatize and lose perspective. Okay? Is it good? I'm in fresh hair. So, blaming. Blame. If I suffer, it's the fault of Maha. It's the master. How often did you need me to be the cause of your suffering? Oh, it hurts so much. Maha's probably pushing me in an experience right now. No? Unless you asked it. Well, yeah, okay. Then it's not blame, it's thank you. You did exactly what I want. Anyway. How much, with a spiritual master, it's common. You know that I can push you into experiences or roll your make your lava lamp boil a bit. And I do it when you ask for it. And at one point, you would need to blame someone. And now I'm addressing issues and you suffer and it hurts. Maha, why did you awaken this suffering? It was already there. Okay, I didn't create it. I'm not that evil as to cause new suffering for you. I just stir you a bit so that you would become aware of the actual experience so you know what to free yourself of. Okay, but yes, while it's awakened, it hurts. How easy it is to blame the parents for the challenges. I'm like this, I was brought up like this, it's my parents' fault. Yeah, it's not your parents' fault. It is true that you were brought up like this. But why does it have to become a fault? Okay, why does it have to be a blame when it could just be an objective observation? My parents brought me up in that way. Now I'm responsible of staying that way or changing. If it's my parents' fault, I don't have to take care of it. Huh? If it's my job's fault, if it's the lady that dropped me, if it's the others, then I don't have to take care of it. That's the point. Huh? The laziness that we're invoking with this illusion of competition that was actually pushing out the fact that it's hard work. Life is hard work. It always is hard work. Everybody who works, you have challenges at your job. If you study, you've got challenges at school. If you have a couple, you have challenges in a couple. If you have a family, you've got challenges there. And if you're alone, you got the challenges of being alone. Life is hard work. Life is not hard. Life is hard work. Okay, now that point is one of the important points of that entire misperception. Do you think life is hard? If you think life is hard, you forgot a reality. Life is hard work. Life becomes hard when you refuse that it's hard work. When you accept it's hard work, that you have to work on it, then it becomes hard. But if you accept life is hard work, I have to move, I have to be in charge, then life becomes easier. So life is hard when you refuse that it's hard work. And when you accept that life is hard work, life is not hard anymore. It's simply something that you need to take care of. Because no one else will. Okay, no one. And that is an important point. The laziness of the mind and the heart. At the origin, a conditioning. Making sure that we spend as little energy as possible to survive. We needed to rest like a lion block, completely. And then boom, the lion explodes, is enraged, and he kills a zebra, and then just saying he's going to spend a few days like that. So the entire idea of the terrible lion is that most of his time he's just dropped on the floor waiting for hunger to strike again. Okay? and that's how we are. We still have the genetic imprint of that. It's not a potential in us. It hurts, but while I live, I don't see why I should start working on it. Until I die, oh my God, or until you're crushed on the ground, it hurts too much, I need to take care of it because or else it's going to hurt more. Or I'm going to die or take my own life, For those who care, little parenthesis, someone who suicides, stays stuck in the suffering they tried to avoid for 30 to 50, 100 years, extremely long time, causes ghosts. The person stays stuck in exactly the experience they wanted to flee. So suicide is not the way out of suffering, it's to ensure you have no more choice to look at it. Okay, so just in case some people have ideas, or if you know people who have these kind of tendencies, and maybe it's not true, okay, because I can't prove to you, I can't open your third eye, I can, but it would be too hard work. So, so I don't want to show you all this shit that is hanging around the lower astral plane. So maybe it's a lie, but seriously, would you take the chance that maybe it could be accurate what Maha said? Yeah. One day I'll train you in ESP and you can see dead people if you want, okay? I actually enjoy that. Yeah. If you free yourself of, the disgusting aspect of it, it's pretty cool. Don't particularly spend my evenings talking to dead people. Not constructive. But I can if I want. I already did. But anyway, in the training, we do awful things. If you're stuck in a situation, it means you need to work, but it's more than just work. It's instructions, a plan, a guide, a method, a how-to. 1,700 easy steps out of suicidal tendencies. I don't know. There has to be some way. Let's ask Tara, 10 steps to free yourself of structures. Let's say. That's typical for Tara. If you don't know how to work, you can't. If you know how to work, but you don't resolve anything. You've got a sickness. You were told it's incurable. I've seen people regrow fingers, okay? Reproduce their organs. No, I'm not talking about using their organs to do reproduction. I'm telling regrow one that was dead or lost, okay? I've seen so many people, and I've experienced myself, but we've got, there are a few people right here that during the meetings could tell you how they were terminally ill or incurably ill of something, and they did change it. If you know how to work and then do it, you can get out of it. If you don't know how to deal with a certain situation, there's no way out. Because you can be just still digging your grave, and not understand, you should be digging upwards to get out of that hole, or something like that. You need direction, that's okay, this is what we're trying to do, okay? with the integration process of go suffer your emotion, don't stay there too long. If an emotion takes more than an hour to integrate, you should take a break. You should do like periods of 20 minutes and then breathe. Okay? And then go back, maybe the same evening after 5 minutes of break, maybe tomorrow. I mean, at one point, if you just spend your evening suffering, it's not cool. But if in that suffering you start to feel the freedom and you write your stuff, or some people don't write, they just feeling, thinking, identifying the ego. Sometimes it's cool if you get the freedom, but if you can't free an emotion after 20 minutes of work, usually just change subject, ask guidance, or think more. In the intellect. Try to do more intellectual deduction. Okay, what am I doing wrong in that specific integration to be stuck with it? Okay. Usually there's something missing after 20 minutes. Because for everyone who's got a bit of training in integration, 20 minutes is how long it takes for a big core emotion to be dissolved. Okay. I know you want to do it in 2 minutes, but you'll get there. I do it in a breath. But I still have emotions to process, yes, because I'm here. Projection slows down that process. Projection keeps you out of yourself. We just did that little technique of write something write something that caused you to be completely enslaved of an outer level of power, an outer person, a projection of blame. It's her fault. And while that emotion is still there, it keeps you outside. Now, that slows down your integration process. Okay? So you have these projection issues to deal with to be more efficient in integration. If in about an hour in integration you could resolve an entire aspect, an entire branch of your life tree, that would be so efficient. So the art of integration is also practice and training to get better and faster, more efficient. Okay. That's pretty good. That's why if we build our hell for 3 years, we can be out of there in 3 months or 3 weeks. Okay. How long did it take for Sangmi, what's her name? Forrest. Mrs. Forrest. Yeah. How long did it take for her to be from suicidal to not? Was it like 2 months when she started? Okay. So you see, it's possible for someone to be as deep as wanting to end her life in 2 months to become functional. Not blissfully happy, but functional, and not have that pressure of wanting to die. So that's possible. It requires the implication of the person. That person, I talk to her like once a week over the phone, but she did her homework. If you don't do the hard work, if you don't take care of it, you're still going to suffer. It's going to stay there. So that topic was clear enough. We've covered these grounds pretty good. Projection. A big power inside us wants to keep blaming the others. Okay? We need compassion and forgiveness. Forgiveness of ourselves when they made us believe we were wrong. Forgiveness of them because they just didn't know better. Let's take a break.